welcome to another video. Today, you guys, we're back in my sketchbook for the final time. It's actually a sketchbook tour today, you guys. Isn't that so exciting? It's been a while since my last sketchbook tour. I know it's a little bit different because before I was doing sketchbook tours every week, but I ran out of sketchbooks to tour. So now we're just going to do them as I finish them. And I finally finished this one. I say that like it took me like a year to finish it. It's only been 4 months, but it feels like it's been forever. This is a Royal Talons art creation sketchbook. I bought it because it was actually not too expensive, and it's this cute color. This is my favorite color, you guys, or close to my favorite color. So I really liked it for that reason. The paper is pretty good quality. It's not great for markers and blending markers, but that's okay. I don't really use markers as much as I used to. So just having it to do a couple marker pieces every once in a while was not too bad. It's also got 80 pages. I don't know why it felt like it was so fucking long. It felt like there were so many pages in this. It's not much longer than or it's like the same length as other sketchbooks I've used, such as the Lita Art Supply sketchbook is also 80 pages. The Crescent Render sketchbooks are also 80 pages. But I think that one, no, they're like 80 pages because I counted them to be sure. I was like, why does this sketchbook feel like it's going on forever? I don't know why it felt like it was taking so long because it has literally the same amount of pages as sketchbooks I used literally not that long ago, but this one felt like it was going on forever. Maybe because I was drawing it every day, so I was like, well, I'm drawing every day, shouldn't it be done by now? But yeah, and my next sketchbook also has 80 pages, so I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna feel like it's taking a long time to finish that one too. But yeah, overall, I did pretty good. It has sort of kind of cream colored paper, so it's a little bit more on the yellow side, so if you're not in that sort of thing, I probably wouldn't recommend it. Also, the paper is pretty thin. I'm not sure how well it takes water. I've used other sort of water type supplies on it, like my Ecoline brush pens, and they did not take those very well. I used them like a couple of times and it started to eat up the paper. So maybe I wouldn't recommend watercolor on this paper. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, I don't really do watercolor, and that's like the closest to watercolor I ever do on here. So, but overall, I think it was a pretty good sketchbook. I had fun working in it. Every time I'm towards the end of a sketchbook, you guys, I'm just so sick of it. It just makes me think I hate the sketchbook, and I really don't. I enjoyed working in it. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get to flipping through it. This one should probably take a long time because I did do front and back, and I usually do that for my sketchbooks. It's been a while since I've just done like front for just a sketchbook. I did do front for one sketchbook, but you guys haven't seen that one because it was like a wire bound one, and I was like, I'm not flipping this over back and forth to do the back. But other than that one, the last time I did like just front for a sketchbook has been like several years, so this one's front and back. As you can see, I started this one October 2024, and I finished it in January 2025. So October, January, it's literally only 4 months. But it felt like forever, you guys. Oh, I should show you the first page. There's nothing on it. It's because it's this weird first page where they're like stuck together, and I hate drawing on shit like that, you guys. But the first page is technically a drawing of my OC Kira. I don't know why I said technically. It just is. It's her in her wedding outfit. I decided to do this because I was like, I guess I'll start the sketchbook out with more of like a finished piece, even though I don't really normally like to do that, just because I get scared of ruining the first page, and I'm like, well, if it sucks then I'll feel bad, and then I'm like, it doesn't matter. I mean, for a long time it was just me looking through my sketchbook, so I didn't really mind if it looked sort of kind of bad, because like, who gives a shit. Now I show them to you guys, so now I do think about it a little bit more, and I'm like, also I'm still like, I don't really give a shit. So yeah, that's Kira in her wedding outfit. I actually messed this one up. I wanted it to be a bit more of her torso, so she's actually holding the bouquet of flowers, but as it is right now, it's fine. I don't hate this. The marker is a little bit patchy. I want to blame the paper for that, but I think that marker was just dry that day, so it's not that great. I still like this one. Her lips are not my favorite, but the rest of it I think is really cute. And this is when I decided I was going to make her hair black. Before, her hair was brown, but I think the black actually suits her a lot more. On this side, we just have the colors that I used for this, just because half the time, like, I don't know what colors my OCs are, like for skin tone and hair color and eye color and stuff. And so I'm like, well, if I write them down every time I use them, then I won't forget. And I started doing that a bit more through the sketchbook with like my Ohuhu puke markers too. I just write them down because like, what if I want to use that color again? It's better for me because I'm very forgetful. I'll be like, I think I know what color it is, but honestly, I really don't know. So yeah, this is mostly markers, and then I have some Artex paint markers I used for the flowers and for her dress. I don't like touching this page because of that, because it feels like acrylics, and acrylics feel really gross on my hands, so I don't really like that aspect of it. But other than that, I think this one's really cute. I still like this one a lot. Nothing on the back page because I like marker bleed, you guys know that. This is just a little drawing. This is like a little page of an Office AU, not the Office the show, but just like an Office AU of some of my OCs, my college guys OCs of Paxton and Valentine. That's Paxton, that's Valentine. And this is just them being rival salesmen. and Paxton is the better of the two. This is around the time that I had decided I was going to change Paxton's personality. I changed his personality in the last sketchbook I did. If you guys seen that last sketchbook tour of my most recently filled sketchbook, I decided to change his personality because he was sort of kind of boring, in my opinion. He was like always like scared and sort of kind of nervous all the time and like a dork, and he was like really insecure about that, and I was like, that's kind of boring, and I didn't want it to be like that anymore, just because I couldn't really find any situations to write him in that were interesting to me. And so I changed his personality, so he's kind of like a happy-go-lucky sort of nerd now, and he doesn't take any shit type thing, and I like him a lot more now. So him and Valentine can have a rivalry in a way that makes sense now. So yeah, I prefer that characterization for that, and that's what this little duels are about. The markers I use for these are actually my Himi markers. This is around when I first bought them. I think you guys saw this in a video because I recorded a video of me coloring these. I don't really like the colors for this. I think part of it is just that I did all the sketches in black, and I had already like hatched them and stuff. And so adding the color on top of that, I feel like it sort of kind of dulled the colors maybe. But I don't know, maybe those colors are just too dark. I'm not sure. Some more of that AU, just a little bit more of that comic right there. This is actually a very old drawing that I did of Dabi from My Hero Academia, back before you knew that he was Toya Todoroki. My cousin was telling me about we were talking about art or whatever, and I was like, if there's any art that you like of mine, I can give it to you. He's like, if you have anything of Dabi from My Hero, I like him. And so I made a couple of prints to figure out what I wanted the prints to look like. This one accidentally printed like 3 of them on sticker paper, and so I was like, fuck. So I just like, okay, I'll keep one sticker for myself. I'll just paste it in my sketchbook, and then the other ones I gave to him, and I gave him some prints. So yeah, that's what that one is. I just remastered it a little bit. The colors are like way off when I was making it into a print, so these colors are not accurate to what it actually looks like in real life, but it's not terrible. Yeah, I'm not really great at editing photos for prints, but I do my best, you guys. Some more of that office AU. This is them at a Christmas party, and it's maybe a little bit too adult for YouTube now that I'm looking at it. I mean, it's not too bad, but they have a rivalry, but also there might be some feelings there. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. But this is just some more of that AU, but just with some pink high-tech C's this time. Some stuff for Nick and Kira. I was thinking of Nick and Kira's story for a long time. Honestly, in my last sketchbook, I drew them a lot more. In this one, there's a lot of them at the front, not so much in the back, because I've started thinking about my college guys more, just because I was thinking of different AUs for them. I like to put my college guys in different AUs, you guys, and so I was drawing them a lot in the second half of the sketchbook, but at the first half, it's a bit more of Nick and Kira. And so for Nick and Kira, they're supposed to have like a pretty large group of side characters because they are in a mafia storyline. And I was like, well, if they're in a mafia storyline, there has to be other mafia families. And I was like, well, and not only other mafia families, but also other gangs that are in like the sort of criminal underground that they like live in and stuff and work in. And so I was like, well, let's start designing some of them. And so this is Yaya. This is not her finalized design. I mean, I like the hairstyle and stuff, but I'm not so sure on the clothes. My sort of idea for Yaya's sort of gang or like mafia family is that they were initially a gang, and then they ended up killing one of the heads of like one of the actual like there's like 5 mafia families in the city, right? And there's also like 5 gangs that associate not with the mafia but with the criminal underground, right? And so they used to be one of the 5 gangs, and then they ended up taking over one of the mafia spots, so they're like a gang who became like an actual mafia family. And so like the whole aesthetic of that gang initially was that they're like a bunch of like emos and punks and stuff, and then when they turned over to being a mafia family, they kept being like emos and punks, but the leader, which is this guy, I can't remember his name, he's in here though, you'll see him in a second. He had to start dressing more as like a mafia boss because the old school mafia bosses were like, we're not associating with you if you dress like that. And he was like, fuck. And that's like his whole joke is that he really wants to go back to dressing all cool and alternative, but he can't. And he kind of feels like he's a sellout. But yeah, Yaya is his second in command. And so she's really cool. She's like pretty, I don't want to say she's similar to Kira because she's not really. She's like very protective but also kind of stoic. I like her a lot. I don't really draw them too much in this sketchbook. I'm trying, out of like the different mafia families that I've designed so far, which is not very many, I have ideas, like I have another mafia family, like 2 other mafia families so far, like ideas rolling around in my head. Out of those other 2, these guys are my favorite because they're a bit more of a found family trope, and I love found family, you guys. But yeah, I like Yaya a lot. And so this is just Kira and Yaya meeting for the first time, and Kira sort of kind of provokes her into fighting, and then Kira's like, oh, you tried to kick me, that means I get to beat you up, right? And then she's like, oh shit, she broke my leg, and the guy, I can't remember his name, he like steps in, he's like, maybe don't break her leg, please. And she's like, and Kira's like, oh my god, that's so polite. And they're like, that girl is crazy. I love Kira because Kira is actually not from that part of the city. Kira is also from a mafia family, but she's sort of kind of, I don't want to say mail order bride, but she's from a different part of the country, right? And her brother sort of kind of sold her off all the way across the country, so that way she would be out of his territory and not able to bother him. And so everybody in like Nick's sort of mafia world does not know Kira, and they're all like, "Who the fuck is this lady?" And she's very scary, and I feel like she's very dangerous to us and our organizations and stuff. And so I love the idea of introducing Kira to people and people just being like super freaked out. So yeah, this is also a kid. Not that Yaya is a kid. Yaya is a grown adult. But this is a kid who's actually in their mafia family, Nick and Kira's mafia family. He's like the son of one of Nick's father's subordinates, and so he gets into trouble with some of the gangs at the beginning of the story. It's not entirely like fleshed out, but basically they have to save him, and they're like, of course we're gonna help you. You're part of our family. And I just thought it was really cute. And so this is not like his finalized design or anything, but I just feel like any sort of story where you have like the mob involved, I feel like there should be like some sort of, I don't know. It doesn't make sense for kids to be around, but I feel like the kid aspect helps sort of ingratiate you. Be like, hey, these people are criminals, but they still have things that they care about. And so I was like, we could use him as like a plot device, but also he's gonna be his own character and stuff. But a lot of characters are just, plot devices. As long as you don't like use them and then dump them, I think people will forgive you for that sort of thing. This is a page of Nick and Kira's that I did of just them being cute, doing little poses. I think you guys saw me color this, but initially his hair was blonde, and then I decided later on that I wanted his hair to be red. And so this is the first time I ever drew Nick with his red hair. I like that his hair is red. I'm not still really too sold on his eyes being that sort of shade of blue, but we'll get there eventually, I hope. It's some sort of blue that I would like for him to have. This is a drawing that I did of Nick and Kira in their wedding outfits. This is not official because I always wanted Nick's outfit to be like all white and these are black pants, so I don't really love it too much. This is more of what I want Kira's wedding dress to look like, but not so much this part. It actually is supposed to have a lot more lace, like it's supposed to go all over this part, but I was feeling lazy that day, you guys. I was like, I'm not drawing any more lace than I have to. This is not even really good drawings of lace, it's just little scribbles to give the idea of lace. I was like, I'm not doing that. But yeah. This is, oh yes, his name is Aaron. He's the guy from the mafia family that used to be a gang from the alternative dressing people. And so Genesis is also, so it's like Yada is like his right hand man, Genesis is like his left hand man. His name is not Genesis. Genesis is a cool nickname that he gave himself, but yeah, that's his name for right now. I'm not gonna tell you what his real name is because that's kind of ruin the joke. But yeah, that's Genesis. I like Genesis a lot. This is Yaya talking to Genesis. I didn't really finish that comic, but this, like I said, it was found family, so she's like, we're friends, so I'll help you out, right? Because Genesis had gotten into some trouble at some point, and he was like really happy. This was before he dressed all alternative and stuff, and then when he got in with the gang or whatever, he started to like express himself more with his clothes and his hair and stuff. So that's those guys, and that's Aaron. Like I said, Aaron's whole joke is that he wants to dress alternative and cool, but he has to wear like a suit and shit nowadays, and he's got like a scar on his eyebrow and his lip as like a sort of dramatic thing that he did when the mafia bosses were not wanting to convene with him. He like ripped his eyebrow ring off and he ripped his lip ring off and it like left a scar, and he like put on a suit and he was like, am I good enough to like, what's it called, to associate with now? And it was like a whole dramatic moment that I had planned out in my head. But yeah, that's Aaron. I like Aaron a lot. He's so funny to me because he's always so sad. He's like, this sucks so much. Just some little drawings of Kira. This is actually when I decided to change her hair. I was like looking at a lady on Pinterest or something like that. I was just like head poses, and she had a similar haircut to Kira, where it was like this sort of bob shape, but it was a little more wavy. And so after I drew this one, I was like, well, what if Kira's hair was a little more wavy? It doesn't really make sense for it to be flat at the bottom. I mean, they're like blunt cut bobs, but I just feel like her hair is already wavy. It would make sense if the strands were a little bit more wavy at the bottom. And that's sort of kind of around the time I decided I was going to change the way I drew Kira's hair. I like it better now, you guys. The flat hair look was fine, but it looks a lot more like hair now. This is Henry. Henry is an old OC that I had a long time ago. She was also part of a mafia family. And I was like, well, I already have a bunch of mafia OCs because I don't know why you guys, I like criminals. So I was like, well, what if I just reincorporate them into this story? And so Henry is now going to be Nick's childhood or high school best friend or high school friend, I guess. They were in high school together. They went to like a boarding school because I feel like mafia families always send their kids to like really good schools because they have the money. And so they went to like school together, and they're like both parts of mafia families who are like, what's the word? They're like allied together. And so yeah. So whenever Nick needs a favor, he goes to like Henry to like ask for it. And yeah, that's Henry. They don't really get along though, because whenever they were in high school, Henry kept stealing all of Nick's girlfriends, and she's like, "It's not my fault. The girls that you like girls. It's not my problem." And so she tries to hit on Kira, and Kira's like, "You're barking up the wrong tree, buddy." Not because Kira has anything against girls who like girls, but Kira doesn't really have like romantic feelings for anybody until Nick, like way later on in the story. So she's like, "You're not gonna get anything from that from me, and also if you touch me again, I'm gonna break your hands." And she's like, "Okay, I'll back off." This is a drawing that I did. You guys saw this in a video of just a redraw of that girl eating ramen. I would say that I don't like this. It's just, I think the only part about it that I don't really like is that I didn't erase the sketch or lighten the sketch before I lined it, because it was a digital sketch, and that's like the only part that I don't like. But I like the colors, and I feel like the face is a little bit better than the last time I did it. But yeah, overall, it's still pretty good. I did this on sticker paper, and I just stuck it in. You guys, I love sticker paper. I'm probably gonna do this again. I did already previously in the sketchbook. You already saw I drew something else on sticker paper, and I just stuck it in. But that's really fun. That might be partially why this sketchbook is so thick, because usually my sketchbooks are not like too thick. I guess the word is, I'm not thinking of thick, but like they bulge. I see some people whose like the sketchbook goes like from this, and then it's like double the length, like double the width. I'm like, I don't know if I like that. It just feels kind of like ugh. And so mine started to do that, and I'm like, oh, maybe don't do that, please. But yeah. Anyway, this is drawings of Joe, Lee, and Harper. These guys are also old OCs that I have that I reincorporated into the Mafia AU. They are part of Henry's Mafia family. I don't really have much to say about them because I already have their stories sort of kind of worked out, because I had them for a long time and I had a long time to think about them. Joe is probably my favorite. His name is Average Joe because he's just an average guy. He's not actually that average, but that's where the joke comes in, you know what I mean? And so I like Joe a lot. I think he's very, very cute, and I like his story because it's about acceptance and being who you truly believe that you are. And I like that a lot. I also like Lee a lot. Maybe they will date in the future. I don't know. Probably not, but maybe, who knows? But yeah, I like them together because initially Lee does not like Joe at all, and then eventually they become friends, and maybe they go a little bit more. I don't know. And then Harper is there just watching all of the chaos, and he's like, ugh. Harper again is like, he's like, I hate having to be around all these fucking couples all the time, because you know, Henry, she gets around a lot, and then he has to watch Lee and Joe, and he's like, oh my god, this sucks so much. I like Harper a lot. He's always like the odd man out, like the fifth wheel. This was a little comic I was gonna do. This is actually supposed to be Harper, and it was gonna be about Harper trying to poison Kira because he is an assassin for Henry's mafia family, and so his whole MO is like poisons and stuff. But I didn't finish it because I got lazy. This is a little comic that I drew of Nick and Kira. It's like literally only 3 panels, but I just like the idea, like when Nick is usually walking around, his hair is usually down like in those bangs. You guys know what he normally looks like, but I feel like whenever he gets serious about like fighting, I like the idea of him like pushing his hair back out of his face. I feel like when he was younger, he probably did wear this hairstyle before because he was a bit more serious when he was younger, and then when he got a little bit less serious, he let his hair like grow out and be a little bit longer and cover his face and stuff. But Kira likes the hair push out of the face look because she likes a guy who will fight and stuff, I guess. So yeah, that's just her reacting. She's like, for the first time in her life, she's like, oh my gosh, she made my heart skip a beat. What the hell is this? This was me drawing Nick and Kira. They were going to be in casual outfits, and then I never finished it. Not because I don't like the sketches. I think maybe my issue is just that they are a little bit too far off to the side, because I did draw these first, and I was like, well, I'll just draw them casually. And I was like, well, I don't have any space for Nick's other hand. And then I was like, well, I could have just finished Kira and erased Nick, but I don't know. So they just live as this little sketch with no arms. I still like it though. I feel like Kira looks really cute here, and I sort of kind of wish I hadn't finished it, but now it just lives like a very cute sketch, so I'll never ruin it. Marker bleed. This is random bullshit. Not that I'm really going on here. This is supposed to be a drawing of Genesis. I was trying to draw an outfit that I have from this like lookbook of fashion illustrators. I have like 3 fashion illustrator books, you guys, just for like outfit ideas, because I'm not a fashion designer. I don't know shit about clothes, and so I look through them sometimes to draw outfits from. And so that was me just doing a sketch of that here. But I don't really like the way it turned out. And then this is just a drawing of, it was supposed to be Nick, I think, with his hair pushed back from the front. I don't know what I want it to look like, but it's not that. That's ugly. A cricket and a Kamau, and I think this is also supposed to be cricket and Kamau. But I don't know what they're arguing about there. Some colored pencil drawings of scum and trash and dirt. I don't like these at all, but I'm not super confident with colored pencil drawings anyway. So that's probably partially why I don't like them. But other than that, I think they're okay. I bought colored pencils because I really wanted to get into using them again. I haven't really gotten into using them again, you guys, but they were only $5, so it's not like they're wasting away. So yeah, this is Vampire AU of Kamau and Cricket, where Cricket is a vampire hunter who's from a long line of vampire hunters. I think you guys saw me sketch this in the video, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. I still like the way Cricket looks here. I kind of wanted this to be what he looks like all the time, but every time I try to draw Cricket, he does not look like this. I feel like he's so cute here. This is a comic. I told you guys about this when I did this page. You saw this one in a video, but this is like a comic that I did. Katsuo being too nervous to ask Duke out on a date, and so Cricket is acting as proxy and asking Duke out on a date for Katsuo, and Duke is too nervous to answer, so Kamau is acting as a proxy to answer the date request, and he's like, no, you're not asking Duke, you're too coward to ask, so he's like, the answer is no, and like everyone's upset. He's like, what do you mean? And so Cricket's like, okay, fine. And Katsuo's like, well, Katsuo's like, oh, let's just do it, go away. Obviously the answer is no. And then Cricket asks Kamau on a date, so that way they can go on a double date, and that way they can go on a date together. It's very cute. It's very sweet. It's like a friend sort of thing. But yeah, that's that little comic. I like this comic a lot, just because it's sort of kind of like a completed comic, and I try to give them other outfits, and I try to do different like sort of angles and faces and stuff. It's not like the best comic ever, but I still like to look at it and read through it. I just like it a lot. Their date outfits I don't quite like as much. See, every time I draw Cricket, he does not look as cute as he did the last time I drew him. I don't know what it is. A blank page for marker bleed. Some drawings of Hope and James. This is actually probably the start of my Hope and James era in this sketchbook. I normally never draw Hope's friends and family. I don't know why. I like to draw Hope. I think he's really cute and I like him a lot, but I never really draw the other guys. So I was like, I'm gonna try and draw the other guys. And so that's what I'm gonna do after this point. But this is just some doodles of Hope. This is a little comic of just them high-fiving and then Hope leaving. Oh, sorry, James is leaving, and then Hope is like, that James, he's so nice. He's so cute. He's like cute. And so I think it's pretty obvious. I think I've said it prior that Hope has a crush on James, but James does not know about it until like way later in the story. And also Hope is too scared to do anything about it, so he's just pining for a long time. This is a little thumbnail sketch for the annual redraw that I do, but I didn't do that one. Okay, these are some new OCs. Well, they're not new OCs. They're like revamped OCs. I didn't really do anything with it, but basically one of them is a villain. The guy is a villain. The girl is a hero. But they don't know that, and they both live together. They're roommates. And so at nighttime, they're like fighting and being arch enemies. And then during the daytime, they're like awkward roommates who are like, hey, can you wash the dishes? It's been 4 days. So yeah, that's these guys. This is not their finalized looks at all. I only drew them once in here, but I do have some writings for them. I just have to work out what I want them to look like. Yeah, so that's those guys. They don't even have names yet, but yeah. Some redraws of Hope. I think I talked about this sketch initially in a different sketchbook tour, about like, not the last sketchbook tour that I did, but the one before that, of how I felt like my art was getting worse because of this sketch, because I had done like initial sketch of Hope in the same sort of pose, and I showed my sisters, and they're like, the old one is better, and I think they like the old one better because the anatomy was not quite so exaggerated. This guy is all chest and like tiny waist, which I don't hate. Honestly, I like this one better than this one, which has a bit more of that realistic anatomy, but I don't know, something about this. It's a little bit too wide here, but I feel like if I just, if this is a little bit less narrow and went like this a little bit more, I would like it. It would make a little bit more sense. So like, I don't like how narrow this is, but I do like how wide that is. Does that make sense? That's like the only part about it I don't like. Anyway, those are some drawings of Hope. Some doodles of me. This was me planning out what I wanted some of my little emotes of my little face to look like. I probably am not going to put any here for the sketchbook tour. I might. I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm not going to put any at all, but they're a bitch to add, you guys. That's why I stopped adding them for every time I spoke, because it takes forever. And so I'm like, I'm just going to use them to like pop up every once in a while to like emphasize what I'm saying, because if I don't do that, it takes like 5 hours. If I only add them every couple of minutes, every couple of times I speak, it only takes like 30 minutes to an hour. So it's like 4 hours of work gets cut out. So sorry if you liked seeing me, my little avatar, every time I was speaking, but it was too much. And I was like, I want to get these videos out and pre-recorded in like a timely manner and edited in a timely manner. So a little bit less of my mini-me, but she's still there. Don't worry. But yeah, these were like some prototypes of what I wanted some of my expressions to look like. I didn't even use all of these or even many of them. Some of them I might make new ones for. Like this one is kind of cute. This one, I have a crying face. This one I feel like is cuter though. I feel like I should have just drawn them traditionally and then went over them digitally. But I was like, I'll just draw them digitally. And, I got lazy. So, and I was also running out of time because I had a whole month to work on them and I didn't work on them for the whole month, you guys, at all. So drawings of me, this is what I look like for you guys. And then this is closer to what I look like in real life. Some figure studies. I think I do this in a video. Yeah, I drew these for a video, you guys. So yeah, not much to say about those guys. Some more drawings of hope. This is when I got some brush pens. These are all like labeled out what they all are. And I was just testing them out and using them here. I don't like all of these drawings, especially don't like this one. So I just drew Hope reacting. He's like, that is not me. Every time I draw Hope smiling, he looks weird. And so, and then that's him berating me. He's like, I know you're trying your best, but don't do me like that again because that's not him. It does not look like that. And I'm crying because I'm sad. I actually draw a little bit more of myself reacting to OCs in the sketchbook, which is not something I normally do because I don't know, it feels weird. I feel like OCs should not interact with their creator because it's like I'm kind of like their mom and also like their boss in like a weird way. So I'm like, I just let them do what they do. I feel like it's maybe too meta for me, but I do it a couple times in here. Mostly just to fill up space. And then this is James, because I was reworking James' appearance. I reworked James like so many times, you guys. He's had like 4 different appearances at this point. But I was reworking him again, and he's like, can we, he's asking to be more cool than cute. And I'm like, no, I want him to be cute. And, I do. I really want him to be cute, you guys. He's not like super, super cutesy. I could make him much more cutesy, like give him much rounder eyes and a much rounder face and just like do it up really hardcore. But I'm not going to. He still has like a square jaw and like his eyes are a bit more oval shaped, so he's not as cute as he could be, but he's still kind of cute. I want him to be kind of cute, you guys. So yeah, that's James. This is just a little comic. This is like right after Hope realizes he has a crush on James, and so he's like, why is Hope not talking to me? And this little Hope hates me. They're friends. They're like the best friends that they have. They're like their favorite coworkers at their job. And it's not like any of them have like friends outside of work. So like they're their only friends. So yeah, just some more Jameses. I don't really like any of these. This one's not too cute. This one's not too bad. He's kind of cute here. But then also I was doing a little bit more of a simple style, so they don't have like a bottom eyelid. So that probably adds to why I think he looks cute. I also think that Hope looks cute there. Oh, and this is the start of me drawing every day in my sketchbook. That's why it says day 1. I did not finish out the rest of the days. I do have to write the rest of the days on the sketchbook. But yeah, this is day 1 of me drawing every day. Initially, I was just like, well, what if I just do a spread every day? And then it just sort of kind of became my sketchbook habit. So yeah, this is day 2. And then the rest of this sketchbook is finished in like this first section, like this first part. This took from October to November, like to the beginning of December. Like I started doing a sketchbook spread day, like the first day of December when I went on break from you guys. So this took me 2 months, and the rest of the sketchbook took me 2 months. So yeah, that sketchbook spread a day, you guys. It really is crazy. It's very productive. So yeah, some more little doodles of Hope. This is when I started giving him a new work outfit because I was like, it doesn't really make sense if he is a cook that he wears like a turtleneck, sort of like really tight fitting outfit. I feel like you're gonna get really sweaty in there and it's gonna feel really awful. So I changed his work outfit. Honestly, he should not be wearing a tank top to work in a kitchen, but it's a little bit unrealistic. And his hair should not be dangling out either. He wears like the do-rag thing to like keep his hair out of the food. And so his locks should not be peeking out, but I am taking a little bit of artistic license because it's not like their job used to be a chain, but now it's like a one owner type thing. And so he's probably like, I don't give a shit, just don't get any, hair in the food. And I'm like, okay. And his hair is probably not gonna fall out because it is locked. But yeah, anyway, that's his new outfit. This is them not kissing, but maybe they will. I thought it was really funny because I drew them like getting progressively closer, but I don't actually draw them kiss. I was like, oh, I never draw them kiss. I should draw them kiss. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna draw that. Not that I don't ever draw characters kissing. I do sometimes. You guys are not gonna see it because it's not in any sketchbooks I put on YouTube. But yeah. This is the boss. This is me reacting because he has a small ass head. This one is not bad, but I feel like it looks weird. I decided I was gonna give him more bags under his eyes because they do work the night shift. They are the night shift workers. Like the boss owns the restaurant. Don't get me wrong, but he prefers to be awake at night due to his past. He's always been a bit nocturnal. That sounds really vague, but yeah. I don't know if I've talked about what his past is. all the characters have like a thing. So like how Hope is a demon, he's a half demon, and then like James is like the only normal person, and like they have regulars who come in who are superheroes, and their other coworker is Levi. Levi is an alien. I think I talked about how the boss is a retired mafioso. Like he was supposed to take over the head of his family as the next boss of his family, but instead he like sort of kind of ran away from home, and well, he sort of kind of kicked out of the family, and they were going to kill him, so he had to run away from home. And so yeah, that's why he's nocturnal. He was used to doing criminal activities at nighttime. So that's why he is the owner of the establishment, but he's there at nighttime. So yeah, that's him. So that's why I gave him the bags under his eyes. Anyway, this is him interacting with the inspector. The inspector also used to be part of the same mafia group as the boss, and he admired him a lot when they were younger. How did he become a health inspector whose like goal in life is to shut down the restaurant? That's like a whole story. That's what the whole point of the story is, but I'm not gonna talk about it right now. But yeah, this is him. They have like a rivalry now, so he's trying to like get anything on the restaurant to be like bad, and the boss is like, no, it isn't, and but it was. So he's like, the onions are expired. He's like, no, they're not, but they were expired by like 10 minutes. So I don't know if you guys have ever worked in a restaurant, but when I worked in fast food, and so we write the times and the dates down, so if they were like expired and like it was time to like throw them out, they'd be like, these are expired, you need to throw these away, which is like, oh, but they're not. I feel so bad working in a restaurant because like there's health codes for a reason. It's like, you need to throw those away, they're expired, right? It's like, but you look at them, you're like, but they're not bad yet. It's like, too bad, you have to throw them away. There's like so much food waste in like restaurant stuff. Obviously it's for safety, but it does make you feel bad. So yeah, that's them. And so he's like, the inspector is like, I'm gonna shut this place down, but when he's actually doing the inspection, he's like, oh, okay, everything looks great here. He's like extremely professional. He could just be like nitpicking and be like, everything here is bad and terrible and sucks and it's awful, and like lie and stuff, but he's not like that. He's just like, I'm gonna catch you slipping sort of kind of guy. He's like, oh, but they're never slipping. And so during the inspection, he's like, everything looks good here, keep up the good work. And then after the end, he's like, damn it, I couldn't catch them in anything. He's like really mad about it. I just think it's sort of kind of funny. It's like he's petty, but he cannot be petty when he's doing his job. He is so professional. So I love the inspector. This is the inspector without his glasses, and the boss is like, put them back on. He's too cute with his glasses off. So yeah, back then, this is the boss. This is not his finalized look for back then, because I don't like it, but either of their finalized looks for back then. But this is back when they were back in the family, and this is them now. Is that the inspector thought he was so cool, and now the boss is like, oh, the inspector is so cool. And he's like, I like you. You were much cuter when you used to follow me around. And he's like, no, I didn't used to do that. He's like super embarrassed about that. They still have feelings for each other, but they have a lot of issues. But yeah, so we're moving on to the next page. This part is covered up, hopefully in post, because I forgot that I drew that, and I forgot it was on this page. And it's maybe they're just kissing, but it's a little bit too much for YouTube probably, because they're a bit in a state of undress, and I forgot that I drew that, so it's covered up, you guys. But yeah, this is John and Jane Doe. They're married. I think I've talked about them a little bit in the past. But yeah, I just try to get their designs a little bit in a way that I like. I mean, Jane Doe, she's perfect. I never change her. But John Doe, on the other hand, I don't know what I was going to do with him. And so I was like, well, I gave Hope a bandana / do-rag to cover up his hair. And so I was like, well, I guess I'll give John one also. And then it makes them look a little bit more cohesive, because John is also in the kitchen, and so it makes more sense if he has his hair covered also. So yeah, the John and Jane Doe, and then when they're at work, they're very professional, and they're like, it doesn't even seem like they're married, and then like they're probably the same at home, and then that is this part that is covered up of where they're kissing, and they're very passionate at home. They're not into PDA at all, but they like each other a lot. That's why they're married, and that's why they betrayed the government, their prospective governments, to be together. Anyway, that's what they look like when they're angry. Some drawings of Levi. Like I said, you guys, I did a lot of drawings of Hope and friends for a while in this sketchbook, just because I'm like, I never draw those guys, and so I drew them. I just redid Levi's look just a little bit. He used to be the guy who worked the fryer. He does not work the fryer anymore. Now he's a dishwasher / busser. The restaurant has gotten significantly smaller over time, because it used to be a bit of a fast food place, and now it is still sort of kind of fast food, but it's like a mom and pop sort of fast food place, where it's like, yeah, we do takeout, or yeah, you could sit down, but like we don't have like waiters who come out and serve you. Like, you get your food at the counter and then you go sit down, you know what I mean? That way it makes more sense, because I feel like having it was a night shift, so it made sense that there wasn't like a bunch of people. but this just makes a little bit more sense for me. So yeah, I just redid his design, their design just a little bit. Their hair is a bit more spiky now, and they're just, I don't know, I just think that they're cuter, and their outfit makes less sense because they are an alien, and so it makes sense if they just dress weird. And so they always have their little gloves on for washing the dishes, and they're always like cleaning up dishes and stuff from tables and things like that. They're very neurotic, and so they're always crying. He's always crying, and they're always nervous. He's like, "Here's your customer, dear customer. Here's your ketchup, dear customer." He's so nervous. He's so cute. I love him so much. He's like the baby because he is a child. They are a child. They're supposed to be 16. I don't know how old it would be in alien years. I'm pretty sure there's like 16, the equivalent to 16 in their own alien race as well. They're like still a child for their own alien race as well. And so the boss, it says here, like the boss found, this is an orphan I found on the street. They are not an orphan. They are not an orphan. That is the story they told. They have crash landed on Earth and they have no family here, obviously, because they crash landed here. So he is an orphan in that sense, but he cannot get back to his family because his ship is broken. So he just lives with this random guy who found him on the street. Thankfully, he was a nice guy. And he didn't, and Levi did not get taken advantage of, but I guess he does because he has to work in the restaurant as child labor. I mean, he's not child labor, he's 16, he's old enough to work, but yeah, they are slightly taking advantage of him. I mean, he gets room and board though, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, they're very cute. I love Levi a lot. He's like the mascot of the restaurant. They're all like, "Oh, Levi, you're so nervous. Don't be so nervous, friend. You're a cute little friend." So yeah, I just drew everybody interacting with Levi because I was like, what is his dynamic with everybody? And basically it's like sad puppy. Hope taking care of Levi. They're like, "Hey, lower your voice, you're scaring my coworker." This is them. This is James and Hope with their height difference. I wanted to make sure that James was tall because I didn't want him to be like, "Oh, super cutesy and he's so little." Not my favorite trope. And so they have a bit of a height difference, but they're both tall. I feel like it's really funny when there are two tall guys and one tall guy is slightly taller, like Rhett and Link. They're like, "Oh, Link must be so short," but like Link is like 6'2" and Rhett is just like 6'6" or something like that, and Short 6'4", and they're like, "Oh, you're actually a giant man." Also, I like that sort of dynamic. So yeah, a joke about how normal people flirt and then how they flirt, and basically he's just like, "I made you some food," and like, "Thank you so much, that was so good." But I forgot to draw him in his actual work uniform for that one. Just some little shitty drawings. Some drawings of John and Jane Doe. I don't know why they don't have any clothes on, but I think I just want to get that over for the day. Now we're on to my college guy session of the sketchbook. These guys are in here a lot. I just started drawing them a bit more. I was just like, I should draw them more, especially these guys. I never draw Katsuo and Duke, even though for a long time they were the main characters. I don't draw them that often. So drawings of Katsuo and Duke. Some more drawings of Duke, because I never really draw Duke at all, you guys. Duke looking at Katsuo and thinking that he's cute, and then I was like, "What are you looking at?" And Duke gets shy, he's like, "Nothing." This was supposed to be a comic of them talking, and basically all Katsuo was saying, like, "I know we don't get along, and you've been bullying me, like, my whole life, since, like, high school, and that you don't like me, but maybe we should try to get along." And then Duke is just like, "No." I didn't write any of that dialogue down because I didn't really have anything sort of concrete to go with it, so, he just says no right here. A mob AU. You guys know I love a criminal underground. So I was like, well, what if Duke and the other college guys were in the mafia, and then Katsuo and his friends ran a bakery? And so I wrote that AU. And I was like, this is really cute. And there's a lot of that in here for the next few pages. So Duke is the head of the mafia, and he goes in every day to get, it says cupcake, but it's not a cupcake. It's gonna be a muffin because he goes in like early in the morning. Katsuo is like running the front of the bakery in the morning, and so he's like, he goes in every day to eat a muffin and talk to the cute baker guy. So yeah, that's them. This is more Katsuo at the front of the bakery, and then I drew Cole and Paxton in the bakery AU, and then also Cricket in the bakery AU. I talk about that a little bit more on the next page, so I won't talk about too much here, but this is Cole and Paxton, and people are asking them if they are twins. And Cole is like, no. And then Paxton says yes because he thinks it's funny, because that's his new personality. I love him so much. But yeah, they just look similar because they're cousins, but they're the same age. So they're like, are you guys twins? You look really similar and you're the same age, but no. This is Kamau also being part of the Mafia AU. I don't know. Actually, I think I sketched this for a video that I scrapped, so don't worry about that. But Cricket's job for the bakery is he makes the coffee, and he like sources the coffee, and he like works the front. Usually he was working the front. Katsuo works the front in the morning because Cricket is terrible at waking up early in the morning, like at 7, which is like bakeries usually are like up at like 4 to like get all the baking done, but Cricket cannot wake up at 4 in the morning, and he can barely wake up at 9 when he has to come in. So yeah, so basically Kamal is like, I don't understand why the boss comes to this bakery every day, and he tries the coffee, and he's like, oh, it must be because the coffee is so good. And so he's coming back for the coffee now. And this is a little bit more of the bakery AU, and this is like the dynamics. So Katsuo handles like the business stuff, and he works the front in the morning because Cricket cannot wake up early. Cricket handles front of house normally, and then he also does the coffee. And then Cole and Paxton are the actual bakers who like who do the baking and make the recipes and stuff. So this is them making a recipe, and Cole's like, it tastes like shit. And then they're fighting because they're like, you didn't listen to me what I said. This is just Cricket smelling some coffee because he is a connoisseur of coffee, I guess. This is just Katsuo hating paperwork because he has to do business stuff. And then Duke is also hating parts of his job where he has to clean up people who are bloody. And then Katsuo was mad. And then just a little comic of Cricket coming to give him a muffin or whatever. Some drawings of boxes, a couple of figure studies. I did not want to draw this day. I really didn't want to draw, so I was like, I'll just draw boxes. Some drawings of scum and dirt and trash. These are their pajamas. And this is a little comic of Dirt just putting a sweater on over his pajamas and leaving the house like a heathen. Some drawings of Nick and Kira. Nothing too substantial here, honestly. Some more drawings of Dirt, Trash and Dirt fighting, and then Dirt spitting blood into Trash's face. And he didn't like that, you guys. Oh, this is a little drawing of all my OCs. This is not all my OCs, but these are the OCs that you guys know. I have a lot of OCs, and these are just the ones I think about mostly. So we have the family, so it's like Nick and Kira and their subordinates, and we have the college guys, and then we have the co-workers, quote unquote. I mean, obviously the inspector does not work there, but you know what I mean. That's like Hope and friends, and then we have Trash, Dirt, and Scum, who are like roommates. This is me reacting. I'm like, oh, they're all so precious. It says a non-extensive list because I have a lot more OCs than that, you guys. These are just the ones that are mainly on my mind. I have a bunch of OCs for books that I was writing, and still thinking about writing. I have like so many OCs for short stories I was writing. I have like over, this is gonna sound crazy, I don't know what I want to say, but I have like over 100 short stories with OCs, and I draw them sometimes, just not in the sketchbook. I draw them in other sketchbooks that I have that I don't really show you guys. But I have so many OCs. Anyway, on to the next page. This is just a bunch of random doodles. Again, I didn't really feel like drawing this day, and I did like all of these, and these took a long time, and I was like, the second page is going to be random bullshit. Some figure studies. I kind of got burned out from drawing all these guys the other day, so I was like, figure studies. But then when I did the figure studies, I was like, I want to draw, and so I drew these on the next day, on the same day. But then this is also a video you guys saw of me talking about my sketchbook habit, I believe. And so this is just more of the baker AU. Something happens at the bakery, and so Duke sends some of his subordinates to like watch over the bakery. And so Emerson is undercover, just keeping an eye on the bakery. And Cole does not know that guy is a mafioso, and he's like, would you like a free sample? And he's like, no. And Cole's very terrible with the customers, so I don't know why he's out here giving out free samples. And they get into a fight. Just a big drawing of Cole right there. This was going to be a New Year's illustration I was going to do of Kamau and Cricket and Katsuo and Duke drinking together on like New Year's. It was supposed to be like something cutesy, but I decided against it because it was very complicated and I was scared of doing a really complicated pose. But yeah, that's them. Just some drawings of Hope and some drawings of the boss, some Jameses. This was the college guys. I was trying to figure out what I wanted their skin tones to look like. I didn't write down Kamau's because I already have that in a different sketchbook, and I just refer to that whenever I want to color him in. And I was going to do the other 4 guys, and then I just never did it. I never colored them in. I probably should, but I'm not going to. This is a big drawing of Duke. I was trying to get back into markers, so I was going to do something monochromatic, but these markers were dry, and it was not working out for me, and it pissed me off, so I just didn't finish it. I was going to color in the other guys, so I saw there's a big blank space here. It was for the marker bleed, but I never ended up doing that. Some Kira's and Nick's. Nick kissing her hand, and then this was going to be him also kissing her hand, but like further away in like a cuter pose, but I fucked it up. Some more drawings of Nick and Kira, just with little different emotions. This is Kira in like her super angry face, and I wanted to draw Nick doing the same super angry face. I don't like it as much though. There's just some drawings of clowns. Well, first off, this is the Baker AU with Valentine, who's also one of the other mafia guys who's sent to watch over the bakery, and he sort of kind of develops a crush on the one Baker guy, Paxton. But I didn't finish that comic. I guess I got bored of it. But I was gonna draw clowns for a video. I recorded this whole process, but I think these are ugly. I did not go in with a plan, so I did not want to show you guys the video of those. Some more drawings of Hope. This is Hope's brother Orion, and Orion is like, why are you working here taking care of humans? Don't you know you're a king, a future king? Because the way that Hope's family works is how many rings of hell are there? 7 or 9? Basically, I think there are 7, and Hope is the last son, and so he gets to take over his own ring of hell and be king of that ring of hell. And so he ran away from that because he was like, fuck that, I'm not doing that. And so his brother's like, why are you doing that? You're supposed to be a king. And he's like, why are you serving humans? And Hope is like, it's close to my apartment. That's the only reason. Anyway, some more little doodles. That's the boss. He does look bow-legged here. I wrote that down. Just some little doodles of some one-off faces. Some more little doodles of one-off faces. This is more Valentine and Paxton for the Baker AU. I think that was the last of the Baker AU that I did, though. Or a little random face. I don't like this one. The bunny teeth is kind of funny to me, but this is like so ugly. This is a girl I saw. This is a picture, and so I was just drawing from reference, I think. I don't hate it, but yeah. These are some eyes, a little face, right here, a little body. This is Cole, and then Paxton jumping onto him and missing him. He's like, get the fuck off of me. They're cute. They're cousins. They get along. These are some fashion studies from a book that I have. Let me grab it for you guys so you guys can see it real quick. This is a fashion illustration book. This is by Tanaka. And so there's like so many outfits in here. And so I just picked some of the outfits that were in here and I just drew them in my style. I mean, it's not entirely my style. It looks like the big old eyes and faces. Facial expressions are not exactly like me. But I wanted to draw some outfits because I'm terrible at outfit design, you guys. I'm so bad at it. So which is why that's like one of 3 fashion books that I have for like fashion inspiration for characters and stuff. I'm still not doing the best at incorporating those into my style, but I'm trying. And so out of these ones, I think I like her face the best, but I'm not sure whose outfit I like the most. These are not my favorite drawings that I've ever done, but I was just freehanding them really quick. So some drawings of Cricket. I was like, I don't ever really draw Cricket. Which is like not true. Cricket is probably one of the ones that I draw the most from my college guys, but I was like, I want to draw Cricket. I really want to draw Cricket. Cricket is one of my favorites. It's not my favorite of the college guys, which is funny because he is technically supposed to be a side character, but every day I'm like, well, what if he hadn't come out and we're the main 2? I'm like, no, don't do that. You don't have to do that. So this is just a blushing meme with Cricket. And then I drew this girl, and I was like, she could be Cricket's sister. So her name is Junebug, and now Cricket has a twin sister. I imagine that Cricket has a lot of siblings because he grew up on a farm. But Junebug is his twin sister, so they're the closest. Her name is not Junebug. I know Cricket's name is Cricket, like he's actually named after a bug, but Junebug is her nickname. Her name is just June, but everybody calls her Junebug because Cricket and Junebug. I thought it was really cute. So yeah, that's Junebug. I love her a lot. This is the only time I draw her in a sketchbook though, because I was like, I don't know what to do with her. Oh, I don't know what to do with her. She's so cute. I would like to incorporate her at some point in the story. I just don't know when or how I was going to do that. I was thinking about, because there's a girl in their friend group who I never draw. Her name is Maya, and she's actually friends with like the nerdy guys of the group. And so I was like, well, maybe she could be with Maya, and that could be cute. Like Maya and Junebug could be really cute together, because Maya's supposed to have a girlfriend, but I never designed her. And she's supposed to be sort of kind of grumpy, but because Maya's like sort of chipper and happy. But I was like, well, what if chipper and happy together? So like Maya and Junebug. So I'm thinking about maybe Maya and Junebug, but I'm not sure, you guys. And this is Cricket and Junebug just interacting, visiting at the college that they work, that they go to school at. And Kamau is sort of kind of jealous because he's like, who is this girl? And then she's like, oh, you talk to my brother. My brother talks about you all the time. And he's like, oh, he's your brother. All right. And so he kind of chills out because he's like, oh, that's no threat to me. This is some drawings of Cole and Paxton as kids. When Cole, this is supposed to be them at age 5, but I cannot draw children, so they don't look like they're age 5 here. But yeah, Cole was very like shy and reserved as a child. And even as a teenager, he was very shy. And only after like high school ended did he like start to be a bit more bold and brash, like how he is now. Like he's very in your face now. He's very, I will fucking punch you if you say something wrong to me. Before he would just like take it. He was bullied a lot as a kid, and Paxton was sort of kind of like his protector slash best friend when they were kids, when they were little kids. When they were like around 5, Cole and his mom moved in with Paxton's family because of reasons. At this point, it's just because of reasons that I'll talk about maybe if I ever write the story, which I don't know if I will. But yeah, they ended up becoming best friends, and they were best friends in high school, and Paxton was doing his best to protect his cousin during high school, but even though Cole's like, you don't have to do that, I don't want you to get in trouble, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's them. I love them a lot. Before, they were not cousins. They were like not even like really great friends, but then as soon as I decided to make them cousins and to change Paxton's personality around a lot, I was like, I love them so much. They're best friends. They're like brothers. I love them together. They're so cute. This was Christmas, and I didn't want to fucking draw. I did not want to draw. I was like, I'm tired. It was Christmas. We had to do family stuff, and I love my family, but I am like I don't like to be around people for too long, and so as soon as like Christmas stuff is over, I'm like trying to go in my bed and like lay down and like get my energy back. And so, but I still had to draw, so I was like, fuck. And so I was like, we'll just draw some cute little drawings of James and Hope for like getting Christmas presents. And so yeah, that's them. I kind of wish that that James was holding the small present that Hope has, so that way it could look like James was giving Hope the present. But that's okay. And this is just colored pencil and Ecoline brush pen, but I think these are cute. I think that I like James's a little bit better than I like Hope's, but I think this is I messed up on his nose and I did like a double layer there. Some figure studies that I did, just because I had done this, you guys saw this in a video that I colored this, and then it was really late at night, so I was like, I had to fill the other page up with something, so I just did figure studies real fast. And so yeah, that's that Demon Girl. The coloring I think still looks nice, but I'm not entirely happy with the character design aspect of it. The marker bleed here, I do cheat, and I let marker bleed count as the page. So technically I only do one page for those, but the spread is done, you know what I mean? The marker bleed counts as part of the spread. And I don't really use markers that often, so I don't really cheat that much. Some drawings of Valentine in some of the outfits from some of my other fashion illustration books. I don't think either of these outfits fit him, but I wanted to draw him a little bit because out of my OCs, after I like revamp Paxton, I want to draw Valentine because they go together, and so like I want to draw more Valentine, but now I think that now that I revamp Paxton, Valentine might be my most boring of the 4, and so I need to revamp him a little bit more. I've been working on it. Because his whole personality is like he's like a playboy, he's like really flirty and stuff. But I was thinking, I was like, do I want him to flirt with Paxton, or do I want him to be a little bit afraid of Paxton? And my mind is leaning a little bit more towards kind of afraid of Paxton, but in a way where he's like into it, if that makes sense. And so I don't know, I'm thinking about it. So yeah, that's Paxton, and then this is him. Paxton is threatening Valentine because the college guys, like the more jock guys, are a bit more mean to the nerd friend group. And so Paxton is like does not put up with shit like that. So he's like, don't mess with my friends. The only reason he doesn't do it to the other guys is because his friends ask him not to. And so he's like, fine, but this guy, I'll fuck you up. And Valentine's like, okay, you don't have to do that. And he's like, this guy is actually scary. A little cricket. These are some faces you guys saw me do in a video, so I'm not gonna talk about them too much. These are swatches for my Ohuhu puke markers, and this swatch page did count for half of the spread. You guys, I'm a lazy artist. Sometimes I don't want to do the full spread, so I'm like, well, I have these markers I need to swatch, so that counts. Some drawings of Kira as a succubus, because I was like, I like to draw demons, but I've never drawn any of my OCs as demons, so wouldn't that be fun? So I drew Kira as a succubus, and then I drew Nick as an incubus, so it's like an AU. 2 separate AUs. One where Kira is a succubus, and then one where Nick is an incubus. 2 separate AUs. And then this is him like asking why she doesn't look like a succubus. And I try to draw her looking sexy here, but it's a really ugly drawing, so I don't like it. And then I drew this page, and then this later at night, I was like, I don't want to draw. So I drew myself saying I don't want to draw. And I like that drawing because it conveys a lot of emotion. And I was really feeling it that day. I did not want to draw. This is just some more of that Nick as a succubus part names. This is day 31 and 32 because I actually didn't finish the spread. I have already failed to draw a full spread in my sketchbook a couple of times. I think this is the second time during this or this is either the first or second time I failed. But you guys, it's okay. It's not a big deal. I was like, oh, I should probably feel bad. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna feel bad. So sometimes I don't finish a full spread in a day, but I just do another spread the next day. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, I fucked it up. Oh well. So basically, what happened is I did this page and I went to bed and I was like, oh fuck, I didn't draw. It's like, okay, it's fine. And then I went the next day. I just came and I finished up this part, and that was the spread. I didn't draw anything else that day. So I was just like, that's the spread. The spread's done. It's day 31 and 32. It's not a big deal. These are some new Neopico markers I got. I wish that I had bought just one of these at a time because these are two different styles. These ones are with a bullet nib and a brush, and then these ones are with a brush and a chisel nib side. And so I thought I would prefer the brush and the chisel, but you guys, the way that their bullet nibs are, they're really, really, really small. They're like smaller than like normal bullet nibs, and they're so fun for sketching. And I was like, fuck, I wish I bought more of these. So next time when I buy markers, I'm not buying any markers this year, obviously, because of my whole thing. But if I was going to buy markers, I'm like, I'm only going to buy one at a time. Just one at a time to see what you like. I could have just got one of these and then one of these and then been like, oh, I much prefer these. And I would have gotten all these colors and these types of markers because I prefer them so much. And especially this color, you guys. This color is so pretty. It's called strawberry. I have not been able to use it for anything, but I'm like, this is so cute. And normally I don't like red, but I'm like, this color is so cute. I don't know, something about it I like it a lot. And I wish I had gotten it in this one so I could do little sketches in it, but I didn't. And these are just some sketches I did with these markers. I recorded this one. This one is a short. I did not record this, and I wish I did because it actually came out much cuter than this one. So yeah, that was sad, but that's okay. This is, I just pasted in my New Year's piece in here. So that's my New Year's piece. I just put it in. I did it on sticker paper so I could stick it in here. I'll flip it in post so you guys can see what it looks like straight on, but you saw a video of it. So this is just me sketching with those Neopico markers, almost a really small bullet nib. Just some little doodles just to finish off this spread. You guys saw these. No, just this one. This was me. This is when I got my pube markers. And so I did some doodles of the roommates, the serial killer roommates, just they switched their outfits. This is just a little comic of Dirt bringing back his food. So he went out. I don't know if you guys remember this, but he, not trash. Dirt is a cannibal. So there is a person in there, or part of a person is in there, and he's about to cook it. But it's like leaking out of the bag. And Trash is like, what the fuck? That's like, it's leaking blood, like human blood on the table. I'm eating here. It's like gross. And Dirt's like, yeah, I'm gonna clean it up. I just think that's, I don't think it's good to kill people, obviously. But I think that it's funny for a cannibal to be like, yeah, it's just food. And other people who are not cannibals be like, it's not food, it's people. You're leaving people on the table. It's like if I'd like, it's like, well, it's not so different if you just like left a burger on the table. It's like, it's very different. It's very different. I just think that's funny. Little doodle of cricket. These are some drawings of Trash taking care of, quote unquote, taking care of a detective. For a while, I was like, I'm gonna design a detective character to be like their foil, right? And so I think I saw that in a previous sketchbook where whenever the detective comes around, it changes from being like a dark comedy to being like psychological horror / thriller, right? And so I was like, I kind of still want to do that, but I think it would be very funny. It'd be much funnier if they went through like a lot of detectives. It's like there's always some detective who wants to get to the bottom of the things, who wants to advance his career, who wants to she wants to do things and like catch these killers and stuff. Like so many detectives that they go through, and they just like every time they just like end the detective. I just think that would be really funny if like every once in a while there's like a new detective that pops up and you think that they're going to be an issue, but like they handle them in like the next comic and it's like not a big deal at all. I just think that would be really funny. So this is one of the detectives. You don't even see his or her face because they're so inconsequential. Will I be designing, if I ever make this comic, will I be designing detectives for you to see for one panel and then be off the next panel? Yes, I think that's funny. So yeah, Trash is like, I handle the detective. One of you guys has to get the next one. And Dirt's like, fuck, it's like killing rats. Scum is like, I don't mind doing it if they're cute. Dirt is like, they're cops, Scum. They're not gonna be cute. And she's like, oh yeah. No offense if you're a cop, I guess, but... This is a drawing that I did with those markers that have the bullet nib, but I hated the way this one came out. It was actually going to be short, but I decided not to make it a short because I hated it so much. This is a spread that you guys saw in a video. This is just some doodles of Scum, and then this is the 3 roommates just trading outfits again for the second time. Since there's 3 of them, there are 3 rotations of outfits, so this is the final rotation of outfits. Some more drawings of Trash, Dirt, and Scum. This is Dirt making his food, and so he's got like a soup, but the soup is made with human meat. And he's like, do you guys want to try? I'm very torn, but for this sort of characterization for Dirt as a cannibal, because I'm like, you can either A, be a cannibal who's always trying to get people to also enjoy being cannibals, or B, he's like, no, you can't share my food. This is mine. It'd be like really funny. He's like, who was eating my food? And everyone in the house is like, we're not eating that shit. That's humans. We're not eating that. Stop accusing us of stealing your food. We won't eat that. So I don't know which one I think is funnier. I think it would be funnier if he's always like paranoid that somebody else is eating his food and like so delusional, and the rest of them are like, nobody on earth would fucking eat that. So I'm gonna say that this comic is out of character for him to even offer to have anybody else eat his food. But I thought it would be funny if Scum was like, I'll try. And then Trash is like, if I have to live with 2 cannibals, I'm gonna burn the house down. And she's like, okay. So yeah, these are some swatches of my Ohuhu markers that I bought. And there's some little doodles to like use them a little bit. Some drawings of Kira and Nick, just using the Ohuhu poop markers. Towards the end of the sketchbook, it's mostly just gonna be big portraits, you guys. Like I told you before, when I get to the end of a sketchbook, I'm like, I want it to be over. And so I just draw really big portraits. And so these are some of those. I don't like these. That's all I have to say. This is a drawing. This is a page of Valentine's. I feel like he would work as a bartender. And so he's working as a bartender. And it's just like, he's like charming and like very personable. So I feel like he would be like this sort of bartender who's like, I feel like all bartenders are like this though. Not that I've ever been to a bar, but they're like, oh yeah, sure, tell me your troubles. You know what I mean? But it's funny because he's like not a people person, so he really doesn't give a shit. So he's like not listening. And so yeah, this is just him. And then Paxton comes to visit him at the bar sometimes. These are also some little faces that I did for little YouTube shorts. You guys have seen these ones by now, I think. Some drawings of Poseidon. My sketches I did for Poseidon. I was thinking of getting back into finishing my epic animatic. So I was like, well, let's try to like bring some of like the magic back and just try to feel like I wanted to draw Poseidon a little bit again, because I'm not 100% a fan of the way I drew him in that animatic. I'm like, I don't really like that design too much, but I was like, let's just try to work with it a little bit. And I did these and I was like, no, I'm okay. Some drawings of Valentine and Emerson. This is just trying to establish the sort of dynamic that he and Paxton have now. Basically, they're at a party and Emerson is confused on why he's hiding, because usually he's like the life of the party. He loves to be around other people and like be charming and stuff like that. And he's like, shut up. Don't talk to me. Do you want him to find me? But it's too late. Paxton has already found him. And so it's like, he's like, oh no, he's here. But also he's like blushing. I'm not sure what I want their dynamic to be yet. I'm still working it out a little bit. Some more big portraits. Like I said, I'm sick of the sketchbook at this point. That's a hope that I don't really like. This is just a random girl. I think she looks cute. This is just me testing out. I went through my room and I was like, I have too much shit in here and I need to throw some stuff out. And so I had a bunch of pens. And so this is me trying them out to see if they're dry or need to be replaced, or not to be replaced, but need to be thrown out. So only like out of all of these, like maybe a handful, like 5 or so of these need to be thrown away. And I was like, I wish I could have thrown away more just because I have so much stuff. But I'm trying to use all my stuff this year. So hopefully I'll be able to use them and toss them and be done with them. And so I didn't really want to draw that day. So I just drew a big portrait. Just a girl. I don't know what gender they are. They're just really cold and all that. That could be a boy. I don't know. Drawings of Dirt and Scum. They're kissing again. I know I said I don't think that they have a romantic relationship, but sometimes I just like, well, what if they did? Sometimes I'm just like, what if I just try again? And every time I try, I'm like, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Also, I didn't even think about it, but he would like kiss this guy, and he's like got all those human meat germs in his mouth. Ugh. Yeah, but basically, the time that I drew them kissing before, it was Dirt kissing Trash, so that way he could run away. This time, it's Trash kissing Dirt, because Scum was like, well, you guys have so much like tension, maybe you guys like actually like each other. And he was like, we don't like each other. But it got in his head, he's like, well, what if we do? And so he's like, he kissed him and he's like, nope, I don't like this guy, that was so disgusting. And then Dirt is like foaming at the mouth because he also thinks that was really disgusting. Some drawings of Paxton and Valentine, again, just some big portraits to finish off the sketchbook. This is a drawing of Paxton and Valentine. This was going to be for an AU that I was working on, but then I made it just them normally. And basically, Paxton is calling Valentine small, and Valentine's very confused because Paxton is a smaller guy. He's a bit shorter than Valentine is. And he's like, what are you talking about? Aren't you the small one between us? And then Paxton is like, we should put it to the test. and Valentine's like test, and then Paxton wins, and Valentine's confused. I know that is confusing to you guys, but it is a joke about their anatomy, basically. And Paxton won, so take of that what you will. Some little tiny figure studies that I did just to finish off the pages. This is a drawing. I was wanting to draw a clown. And so I was like, well, let's try to work and like design a clown. And so I designed this clown girl, and she's got like this heart-shaped makeup and stuff, and she's got like a lot of heart motifs. And I was like, well, what if she's like sort of kind of like a ballerina, like a clown ballerina, which is like, you know, it's like so basic, you guys. But then I designed her, and I was like, well, she kind of looks like a superhero. And I do have a story that has superheroes. Hope's story has superheroes, and technically I do have a character that is a superhero, and then she has like a nemesis who I wanted to be a villain, and then I was like, well, maybe I should make her sort of kind of an anti-hero type thing. And her design was not really working for me because she was a bit more angry and stuff like that. But I was like, well, this clown girl might work a little bit better for her. So I'm not sure if I want to put her in that girl's position quite yet, but this is her. She has no name. She's like part clown, part mime. I don't know. There's some parts of the design that I like, but sometimes I'm like, this might be a little bit too simple. So I just drew her in all her glory in a sketch. I was going to color that, but then I don't actually like it that much, so I'm not going to color it, but that's what that is. And since I was going to color, I left this page blank, but that's fine. Some drawings of Cricket, just being this cute little cricket self. It's blushing. Some drawings of Duke, being his cute little self, and some drawings of Kamal, being his cute little self. You saw me color these the other day. This was just some drawings of Kira that I did, and I colored them with some random, this is some hula markers that I got. This is just a drawing of girl, just a random drawing, because I drew these, and I was like, I don't know what to draw on this page, and so I was like, I'll just draw a big portrait of just a girl. Maybe she's an elf, I don't know. I think she's really cute, but I did that on purpose. I made her cute on purpose, so of course she's cute, but yeah, she's really cute. But she's like, not anybody. This is some marker bleed. These are some little doodles that I did. These were also for some YouTube shorts. So those are those guys. Figure studies. You guys saw these in a video. Drawing of Paxton and Valentine. I am working on a werewolf AU for them, and I've been enjoying it a lot. And my brain is like, you should make this the official story for them. You like werewolves, and which I didn't really realize that I did. But I read all of the books for TJ Klune's Wolf Song, and I really enjoyed those. I read them in like 5 days, you guys. I read them so fast, and I kind of wish I didn't read them so fast so I could sit and savor them, because I love like werewolves. I didn't even realize it, but I was like, oh yeah, I guess I really did like Teen Wolf as a kid when I was younger. And I really like these other stories about a girl. She's a necromancer, but her boyfriend is a werewolf, and I was like, oh, I guess I really did like that character too. So I was like, well, let's make them werewolves, and I've been having really a lot of fun writing that. I was like, well, what if I made them werewolves for real? And I was like, no, I don't know if I should do that, but this is just some doodles of them in that werewolf AU. And then Cricket is also a werewolf, and so this is just Cricket's little werewolf design. I don't like it. I'm not good at drawing like supernatural creatures. I just don't really practice it, and so I'm like, well, maybe I should start to try. But I'm like, I don't know, you guys. But I am enjoying writing that AU. This is some drawings of Katsuo and Duke, just in some winter clothes. I drew this one first, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. Maybe I'll draw the other guys in some winter clothes. So I finished really the rest of the sketchbook. There's like 10 pages. This was finished in like 2 days, because I was like so sick of the sketchbook. I was like, let's just pound it out. This is a drawing of Kamal blowing on his hands. This was the one that inspired the official drawing that you guys saw either earlier this week or we'll see next week. I don't know. But yeah, there's that one. I thought he looked cute here, but I didn't think I did a good job, so I just redrew it. This is Cricket being cold and miserable. Cricket is actually from Texas and is not used to snow, so he's always cold. This is Cole. Cole is the type of guy who will be out in the snow with like shorts and a t-shirt. So he's in the cold with shorts and a t-shirt. And then that is Emerson. He's got a little hat on. He's very cute. And then we have our friend Valentine, and then Paxton. Paxton's probably my least favorite. I kind of hate that look for him, but I think it's just because his brain looks so small. Oh, I don't know why I didn't draw anything on this page. Oh well. A Duke with that strawberry color that I like so much. I still think it's really cute. This drawing I don't like as much, but I think that the color is still really nice. And it's alcohol marker, so I just counted the bleed so I could finish the sketchbook faster. A Katsuo that I don't really like, also being blushy. A Cricket that I actually do like, also being blushy. I think he's cuter. And this is a Kamal being cute and blushy. Paxton being cute and blushy. And Valentine, he's also a little bit blushy, but like I said, he's sort of kind of a player, so he doesn't really blush quite as much as the others do. He doesn't really get like that. And then the last page is Emerson being cute and blushy. And that's the last page in here, you guys. Oh, I forgot I had these papers. Hold on one second. I'll show you guys these. I drew these at work because I work with children, so sometimes I just sketch. And then children are like doing like an art craft, and I'm like, watch it. I'm going to draw. So that's like a little drawing of, I don't know if you guys can see that. Sorry. That's a little drawing of trash. And then on the back, it's just a little drawing of dirt. I translated these to sketches in my finished artwork sketchbook. I just haven't finished coloring the one I did for trash yet. There's a little drawing of me saying good job. Don't know why. And on the back is nothing. I don't remember why I do that. And then just a little drawing of my friend, James. So yeah, there's those ones. I normally don't really have anything in the back of my sketchbook, which makes this funny because it's like one of the few sketchbooks I have where it doesn't have a pocket in the back. And that's the one sketchbook I decided I want to have stuff to put in the back of the sketchbook. But yeah. That is the end of the sketchbook tour, you guys. I forgot to talk about this sticker. This is my sticker. I made this art. You guys saw it in a video. I just made it into a sticker to give to my cousin's girlfriend, and I had to test out the stickers beforehand before I gave her one, and so this is just one of the tests that I did. I just pasted it on here, or I stuck it on here. So yeah, that's the end of the sketchbook tour, you guys. It was 4 months of work. It felt like way longer. I don't know why, but it did. But now it's finally over. I have a new sketchbook. I told you guys about it in the last video, but I guess I'll just show it to you right now. In case you didn't see that last video, my next sketchbook is an 8x8 Ohuhu sketch pad. I've only drawn one thing in it so far, even though I should have been drawing more because it's been a couple days since I started it. But I've been getting a little bit lazy, so the only drawing in it so far is this drawing of Kamau that I did for a video, and that's it. But hopefully it's also 80 pages, but they're significantly smaller pages. So if I'm sketching it every day like I'm supposed to be as part of my sketchbook habit, it probably shouldn't take me as many months to finish it. Like I said, that last sketchbook took me 4 months, but only because I wasn't sketching it every day at the beginning. The first 2 months I wasn't sketching every day, and then as soon as I started sketching every day, I finished it in 2 months. So this should not take me quite so long to finish. But I know the whole point of sketchbooks is not entirely to finish them, just to fill them up as much as possible. But I do like to draw, and I would like to draw in a consistent space, so that way it also helps me get ideas out. And since I was drawing a little bit more of my characters, it made me think of different story ideas I had for them, and so I would like to keep doing that. So yeah, that is the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for spending this time with me. I will go ahead and see you next one.